Hi, welcome back to my kitchen. My name's Jolene, and uh, starting off the day, today's like the end of February, and gonna be talking about the calendar, the astrology calendar, and gonna read a little bit because uh, what do I want to say? Recovery books is as woo-woo as they are, or as Palo Santo, or as dorky as they are, or as culty as you may think they are, they, for me, help like add a little, like they have compartments like dates on them. Like this blue one, it's an Al-Anon book, and it has every day has its own reading. So the last couple days, I'm going to read and see how that looks. All right, so first one I'm going to read, and it's because it helps like when you're feeling hopeless, and it adds a little spice of hope, which is nice. A little bit is good. I'll take whatever I can get right now, and anyway, let's not be depressed. So eventually, um, if I listen attentively enough at meetings, or I read my literature, or I can like learn how to have real concentration, right? That's the idea. So to absorb a new point of view, if I need, like I can have boundaries. I don't have to absorb it, but I can be aware of it, like consider it, like put that in my mind of critical thinking, right? So when I ask in my head, of course, why does he drink when he knows it's damaging him and his family? Or why do they do the things that would damage the world, or their neighbors, or their family members, by doing, or um, perceiving life a certain way? What do I really mean? How can they justify what they're doing? You can apply that, like I said, to all walks of life. That's so implying a condemnation I have no right to make. So how can they so I don't have a right to do that, right? And so this teaches me, so I can be taught, uh, God or monad or whatever you want to call your higher power, that the abuser, I'm going to put it, instead of saying drinker, you can like add in the word of a person who others, including themselves, right? So so okay, it teaches me that they know more about their compulsion than I do. So I know that they suffer from it too, and I will not waste time or energy trying to figure out the other people. I can't figure them out. It's not my, I'm wasting my energy. So I will concentrate though on figuring out what I can do. So that's basically what it's saying in this cute little blue book. And it's today's reminder: trying to analyze another person persists in destructive behavior cannot help me out in my own difficulties. I can overcome them only by turning my thoughts inward and face my own mistakes to learn how to improve myself. The person who is harming themselves and others is not my problem. The problem is me. Okay. I can maybe say yes or no to that. But how do we can't get rid of them? So what do we do? So here's a quote from Thomas Merton's No Man is an Island. And it says, although all men have a common destiny, each individual also has to work out his personal salvation for himself. We can help one another find out the meaning of life Okay. But in the last analysis, each is responsible for finding himself. Okay, so that's from February 27th. So let's read the 28th, because that's what today is, which a lot of things have happened today. If you're watching the world stage, you see that there's bombing happening by and in conjunction with America and Israel to Iran. And then Iran. So third world war is happening, I guess. So that's where I'm like, okay, here we are. What is that? So that's why reading this is the first step for me. All right. And I'm going to go to the gym. So that's the second step. So we are advised to detach our minds and emotions from the problems created by. So we're advised to detach, right? So this does not mean detachment from your loved ones that do this, right? They need our love and understanding. So love, detachment with, so you don't absorb their, like when you have, like say your family member had been abusive because they don't know how to emotionally regulate. So they're like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, and then you get the traumas from that, right? But so we detach so that we don't absorb that, because that's their stuff, right? We work on that. Okay. Saying we can, like, here we are. Woo, magic. But that's why it's a daily thing. So when I learn to disentangle myself from a difficulty, it will be easier to think it through. So then I can rationalize and plan what I'm going to do. Right. So use that thinking that is needed. So I will remind myself to pause and analyze. This will help me from impulsive decisions, because impulsive decisions during the time that we're angry or mad, maybe we're not understanding that we are. So we have to get to the point of understanding that, okay, I don't want to make a decision here because I'm mad, or we're not doing this because I just, like, you probably can't even get out of that, right? So you have to wait till you get out of that to pause and take care of yourself, go wash your face, or take a walk, right? So this will keep me from impulsive decisions that will harm me and give me time to devise a constructive action. So each time this happens, it may seem a small conquest, but each helps me to build a serene stability. So each time you do this practice, then you're like, oh, there it is again. Like, and be aware of yourself, know thyself. So today's reminder. I look forward to the time when I can say with confidence, I became able to cope with the realities of my life. A true sense of reality comes only when we can put all the elements of our lives into correct perspective. God, guide my thoughts and let these guide my actions. Okay, so with that, I'm going to leave that here, and also remind you that we can also we can look into the planetary actions today. Mercury's in retrograde, so that we can this is a good time to like search your ancestry, talk to your passed on loved ones for guidance, to be there. Ask them to be there with you. Um, and you can do things to confirm that. Like I have this pendulum here. Don't be freaked out. It's a really pretty one too. It's my favorite one. I have many uh, in my shop that I sell, but this is the one that I have for me. It's a smoky quartz. I'm drawn to that, so go by that. So I'm just going to ask it to show me my yes. Be here with us. That's the direction. And show me my no. Okay. So counterclockwise is no, clockwise is yes. Thank you. All right. So today, so it's always hard to, oops, here's my face. Not that you need to see it. And it looks like my glasses have like a smoky quartz little essence to it. So are my ancestors here with me today? Yes. Dare I say, dare I say. And that's a big yes, isn't it? I'm always worried to ask who, because this doesn't tell me exactly who. Okay. So are we going to be okay? I guess that's a silly question to ask, but why am I afraid to ask that question? We are already okay, aren't we? Yes, right. Are you waiting? Do you wait for us individually and walk us home? Oh, it's beautiful. So I look forward to seeing you one day. All right. That's soothing. Thank you. All right. So we'll end that. Because I don't know, like if you have any yes or no questions, we can ask that. But I always like, I feel like I know already. So that's me. So Mercury went into retrograde on Thursday, the 26th, and Mars is going to be entering Pisces on Monday, which is coming up. And in the calendar, check out if you that it's such a good tool. I'm going to tell you, I love the tool. I helped write the tool and continue to write the tool with my daughter, Conscious Seed, and I have all of her products as well. I love them. I actually am getting a delivery today with some of the matcha. I got matcha and I got brain food, and it all goes in my coffee. So lately I've been drinking yerba mate, which I have like it's a loose leaf. If you know, you know. I love it. All right, enough of that. So emotional intelligence is what we're um, working with, okay? Because we need that, especially with all this. All these planets are moving like slowly forward, right, into Pisces and Aries. So this is strong, strong area right now. So Mars is entering Pisces. So this is like that dreamy area where Mars is like, hey, what do I do in here? What do I do? How can I play? I hear splashing. I hear like even taking the both fish out and going, wow, like kind of like what's going on in uh, in the Middle East right now, right? This is it's heartbreaking, but we have good vibes. So we got good vibes. Ooh, we're gonna light the light. Ooh, good vibes. All right, so because that's fire energy. So let's put lanterns. Let's give the Mars energy some projects. So it says here, emotional intelligence is strengthened with Mars in this mutable sign of waters. It moves, it shifts. So it shifts to how it can work out for ourselves, right? It doesn't run, but it is with a fast moving, fast paced first sign. Okay, so a key to this transit, though, Mars entering Pisces, is to commit to developing strategies, right, that keep you connected to your inner guidance and intuition through all kinds of emotions and feelings. So let this be an opportunity to understand your emotional undercurrents, recognizing that your feelings are dynamic and ever changing, especially when you don't hyperfixate on, and which can create energetic blockages. Um, I'm going to say, so yeah, so give the Aries energy projects with your emotional intelligence, be able to like be the daycare worker with this exuberant and fun energy that's coming in here It can be fun. So let's organize and make structures that will work with the energy that's here, right? And in a fun, dreamy way, if you can. Okay, so why not? I mean, life is got one. All right, here we go. So your subconscious is a complete cosmology within your body and your mind. So you can like be aware of that. Aries is about the body. So what's going on with your body? Have you fallen down steps? How many times? How many times have you fallen in the last month? Pay attention to that. And what does that mean? Change your shoes. Pay attention to what's going on. Look up what that means spiritually. Falling down. What does that mean spiritually? Find out so that you can like stop and pause and take responsibility for what's going on with you. Maybe, something is going on. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go to the doctor and get a new pill for that, right? Let's take away from having to take the pills that are keeping us sick, just like the food that they like all the stuff that's in the food and stuff. So like try to eat better and drink cleaner things and I'm a propellant for celibacy and for uh, sobriety because that helps me keep my mind clear. And especially with your natal chart, you need to be aware of what your tendencies would be. And your natal chart will show you that. And also the past. And just be like, to own it. Like, okay, I have a tendency for getting too involved with someone or people or an idea that doesn't serve me well. But I'm holding on until it breaks my leg. Like I will hold here because it's my belief, and if I don't show that I believe in it, then I'm gonna prove to myself that I really am an idiot. No, you're not an idiot. It's just you have a tendency in your chart to have these addictions, or especially if you don't have um, a supportive system that your family was built on, and you have a broken system where everyone was divorced or trying to do it on their own, or like getting into bad relationships and keep making mistakes, and you know, so it's never too late. You can just always keep it like, okay, I'm gonna walk this way. I'm responsible for myself, and it's funny. Like keep it light. Don't be like, I don't know, sometimes you have to cry a lot in order to laugh. But if you're with other people who are also laughing, that's important because we're all in this world together and all have made mistakes and things. So, yeah, whatever you push against is what, if you're finding yourself do that, that's a signal. So it takes time and willingness. You have to be willing first and foremost. You can't just go, oh, today I'm going to do it, but it didn't work for me. Like Tylenol doesn't work for me. Well, maybe it didn't work for you yesterday, but maybe if you just keep trying and believing that it will, or accepting that that's the only thing you're going to take, along with breath work, along with taking a bath, or like, doing things to help yourself instead of just pushing it away because you resent being told. Because there's a lot of depth in these ideas. There's no quick fix of anything. So your subconscious is a complete cosmology within your body and mind. Okay. So give yourself space to exhale fully and release the emotions that hold you back from your holistic self. Your subconscious contains the wisdom to know the difference between what you can do and what you cannot do. So the key is to let go of habitual actions that prevent you from moving through your emotions. If your impulse is to automatically react when others who threaten your happiness, try shifting your perspective to a grounded awareness. So this can help you realize that the enemy is a perception you create, believing it exists outside of you, and that only you can protect your happiness. Right. That is just for Monday. There is a full moon on Tuesday with a total lunar eclipse. It's in Virgo, so it's a good, right? Like there's always, like, I listen to so many people talking about these things, and yes, take the action, be aware. Okay, but it happens anyhow. Like you will see in your life, like say for instance, you get this calendar and you read something that happened in January. You'll be like, oh, and if you have your calendar, you'll see like the things that you're doing. You'll see there things happened anyhow. So things will happen anyhow as fate, or you can work with them, right, as more magical way, so that you can be like, okay, this is what's going on, and have a knowing. It's more, I don't know. I like to do both because I don't always read the calendar. I'm not always aware of what's going on, even though I mean, I guess consciously there's consciousness, right? Where we're hello, hi, touch, touch, touch. And then there's subconscious. There's like the stuff that weird tiredness that's happening, or the things that are happening behind the scenes you've that are affecting you, like from triggers and shit. And then there's the unconscious stuff, the real deep stuff that you've never dug out, but you always, those are your repeat stories. Like, oh, my sister pinched me and bit me when I was little. Like, and then whenever you see her, that's all you say. Like, oh, that's what we, and I'm like, okay, but I'm 58 and you're 55. What? So if you're watching this, I mean, we're here. Let's be here. That happened. Yeah. Well, maybe, why did that happen? I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe it happened because it was too much. All right. So I'm pulling cards. I already pulled one. Oop, one just popped like crazy. So one is the Fool, which is so telling because Mars entering Pisces. Mars is the first is the Fool, like walking on 0 degrees of Pisces. Like, okay, where are we going? How is this happening? But actually, the Fool doesn't even ask. The Fool just goes. Unfortunately, like what's happening in the Middle East today. All right. And let me see what I dropped. Okay. These are the next two cards I dropped. They flew out of my hand. So here we got Page of Cups looking in the toilet, which is hilarious. This is my cat tarot. Well, I didn't draw it. This is from a wonderful artist. I got this as a gift. So Page of Cups, looking in the toilet, looking for the emotions. Where is this? So this is good. We're looking to see like where we're at. I mean, we're to a point where we have to see how we can regulate and be strong. And what's the last one? This is, oh, I had it upside down. I was holding it like so, but it's like this. So it's a cat scratching. So he has 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 of swords. Hold on. Okay. Oh, I had to blow my nose. So it's like if you feel a tickle in the back of your throat, I know like it's not intuitive to blow your nose, but that helps because it's all connected, right? All right. So here we go. All right. Anyway, all right, with what I want to say about this. So, even though the dark cloud is looming, and it's been looming, right? And we have extra loom of cloud. Um, This serves as a warning of things to come, like there's depression, fear. I mean, we don't have to grief and sadness, overwhelm, sense of dread. Just know that your perspective might be skewed by some mental exhaustion. There is light at the end of the proverbial tunnel. There always is. But let's do it each day. Let's find our light at the tunnel each day. Yeah, that's what this is telling me, because there's we have a youthful perspective, like, oh, maybe this is going to be better. The world is the way it is. And, God wouldn't do this. Well, we know that it's not God that's doing this, at least in my world. Um, to be, you know, let's work on keeping it young at heart. So I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to have fun with my kids today. I'm going to watch a fun movie. I'm going to draw something. I'm going to continue to do things that I can and spend time with my family, um, and have coffee with my sister. Yes. And, this card, it's like a sign that today's a day to have a good day. Because then when everything falls, when you can't unknow what's really happening, like there's like this, well, we have today. So we're reminding that we can be a trailblazer in our own life if we, using this silly fool card, with this funny tooth. This could be, the outside world, but also the inside. Let's work on what we can do for ourselves. So, with this, it's a powerful card. As unpowerful as it looks, like this lump of a cat, right? So we don't need to worry about the opinions of others. Be curious like a cat without getting killed, right? Is that right? The sunny yellow background represents optimism and ventures ahead. So whether that turns out to be misplaced remains to be seen. And it's okay. As long as we're talking, as long as you're watching. I don't know. I did hear that spirits, uh, like loved ones, can see and watch TV. I don't know. Let me see if that's true. All right, and then we'll end. All right, we know our yeses are clockwise. Can you watch TV? Do you watch the videos I'm watching? Yes. Do you know what's going on with the current administration in America? Okay, yes. And is it going to be sent here? Are we safe? Are our bodies safe from this? Okay. All right. So does that mean bombs are coming here? No. All right. Well, that's good. At least for today. All right. Sorry, that was kind of crazy. And see you next time.